Who are we? Why are we here? Where did we come from? And how did our universe come to an existence in the first place? These are the four most basic, fundamental questions that we humans have always been trying to find the answers for ever since the beginning of our existence.
Show me the water where I drowned last year.
If we look back up to about 200 years ago, we were trying to answer these questions through something called religion. In our modern times, we are trying to answer the same questions through something called science. These are in fact the most basic, fundamental questions of science. Who are we? Why are we here? Where did we come from? And how did our universe come to an existence in the first place? Welcome back to another video. My name is Adam, and today we are trying to answer the most basic questions of all. What is reality to begin with? According to new science, there isn't really one stable, so unique reality at all, at least not on the way we are perceiving it today. But instead, what it is there is information. See, according to our latest understanding of how the universe works, outside of space and time, there must exist something called the quantum field. And this quantum field contains infinite amount of information. Anything that you can imagine and much more. It contains everything and all their higher dimensional variations as well. It contains our past and our future, events that have already happened and events that are going to happen. It also contains every possible variations of these events too. It contains the world, for example, in which your parents never met and you don't exist. It contains a future where humanity thrives and already solved the main issues and conflicts on our planet today. It also contains the future we didn't manage to solve those problems and our civilization ended. It contains everything that has ever been, will be, or possibly could be. There is no such thing as one single, unique, so special reality like most of us still think about it today. But instead, there is everything. All these things are happening at the same time. An infinite number of massive bunch of raw information that would be impossible to make sense of with our current way of thinking. But let's suppose we create a biological suit that we can wear, a biological machine that we can plug into in order to make sense at least some of this information, for us to have an experience. For example, when we want to understand Mars or other planets, we cannot go there personally and have the experience because our bodies are not capable of existing out there. So we send up probes and machines so that through their eyes we can have a better understanding of what is going on there. We are not there, we are somewhere else at a completely different location in the universe, but we are deeply connected to our virtual experience machine. We can control it, see through its eyes, we can be like kind of there safely without really having to be there, if that makes sense. Now here on Earth, within our 3D reality, we are essentially doing the same thing. There is a rapidly growing body of scientific evidence that tells us that a part of us, our consciousness, must exist outside of our body, outside of space and time, in a mysterious place that even our scientists are only just beginning to understand. So now then, let's suppose we really do exist out there, as a soul, if you want to call it in the language of religion, or consciousness on the language of science. Let's suppose we really do exist out there. So if we, from out there, want to understand what is it like in here, we can send down a probe. We can send down a biological human machine. It's a little bit more sophisticated machine than the ones we send out to the Mars. This one has skin so that we can feel the wind. This one doesn't have cameras, but this one has eyes so that we can see the sunset. This one has a nose so we can smell the flowers. This one has a heart so we can experience the physical aspects of love. So if we now go back to the quantum field, to this infinite amount of information where everything happens at the same time, now if we drop down into this giant mess with this human machine, with this specific biology and chemistry, we are going to have a very unique and very personal experience called life. It doesn't mean that the rest of the information and possibilities aren't still there, but we are only able to see this certain part, this certain layer of the information through our fine-tuned human biological machine. So really, what we describe as reality is nothing but a frozen image, a single frozen moment in time, nothing more and nothing less. But it has never really started, and what's even better, it's never really going to end. But we experience the perfect illusion of a starting and an ending because of the way our biological machine is set. Now, of course, if we are all here together at the same time, having the same experience through the more or less the same human body machine, then of course we are going to all agree that this must be the one reality, simply because we are all experiencing it on the same way. But if I modify the machine, even just a tiny little bit, you are suddenly going to have a very different experience. If I mess a little bit with a certain part of your brain called the temporal lobe, you suddenly won't be able to recognize faces, and you will find yourself in a faceless reality. It's an actual disease called prosopagnosia. The information is still there, you are just not able to receive the information. If I remove the vision function from your machine, then suddenly you will find yourself in a dark reality. Okay, the information is there, you are just not able to receive the information. Now, of course, if all the 8 billion of us together would use the same now altered machine from the beginning of times, then of course we would all agree that reality is dark, and we would have no understanding of what light is. Light is there, we are just not able to receive the information. If I add more cortisol to the system, which is the stress hormone, you will suddenly find yourself in a very dangerous reality where there is a danger looking for you in every corner. If I throw in more serotonin, you will find yourself in a very happy and ecstatic reality. Nothing out there is changing at all. It's the machine that is changing in the system. So here we are today. This is what we have. Our body structure the way it is, so we experience the world the way we do. But it doesn't mean that this is all that reality is. It's not even the tip of the iceberg. And let me tell you that with certain techniques you can learn how to tap into the rest of the information. It's an amazing experience. You can even learn how to change your own human avatar so that you can experience this so-called reality differently. In fact, human body is fully equipped to do that. It's waiting for you to do that. This is just something we have forgotten over the decades because we've been told that life is random and life is meaningless. But really, we are like sleeping lions. And in this crucial moment in the timeline of humanity, now the lion is ready to wake up. And once you do it, once you reconnect with it again, even just for 1 second in time, your life will never be the same again. And from that moment on, all you'll be wanting to do is to help others to have the same experience as well.
Show me the water where I drowned last year.
So this is how I know, based on science and some personal experience, what reality is.
I see myself drowning in tears. God, my lungs want to explode.
What's going on? Adam here again. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel and come back for my weekly videos. Also, if you'd like to join my membership site and learn more about this new science and other crazy things like that, link in the description. See you next Friday at 5 p.m. Bye.